Good morning. Today is a very different morning because there is a USO event that I have been looking forward to for the past couple of days. It is a coffee connection where they're going to talk about Hawaiian culture. I'm pretty sure you already know that I'm all about culture, language, anthropology, ethnology, and everything that has to do with people and where they come from. It has been so long since I've been in the classroom setting for anything that has to do with linguistics or language or culture or anything of the sort that this is the closest thing that comes to it, and I am excited. It is right here in my neighborhood too, so I don't have to drive that far. It's going to be about an hour and a half. If I don't get permission to record at this event, I will take pictures because I do know pictures are allowed. So in case I don't get to record, enjoy the slideshow. Well, that was super interesting and fun. It's called Culture, Coffee, and Crafts. So we did this little flower to put in our hair. It's just a fake flower that you put on a clip, and it's for the Kamehameha week that's coming up. I don't know if it was March or April. It was so eye-opening, really, because a lot of the things that we've seen on the island since we moved here, we kind of just accepted as part of their culture, but we didn't really know where things were coming from. So we learned a lot of things about, for example, why dogs have to go through quarantine and how the settlers who came here brought so many diseases and things like that. So things that we were experiencing all of a sudden made sense. What I really loved was learning more in depth about their history and their culture. It's so similar to ours as Puerto Ricans, except that Hawaiians were able to preserve a lot of their culture, and some of their blood, their lineage is still alive, whereas Tainos were pretty much just wiped out. It was very heartwarming to see that they're so in love with their culture. They're so proud, and they're really trying to keep it alive. I can't recommend it enough. I'm going to send out an email to all the families as part of my volunteer duties to inspire them to come to this, because it would be a shame to come to this island and not take anything away from it. The funnest and best part for me, obviously, was the language part. Duh. I loved learning about the markers, as she called them, on top of the vowels. Learning that Hawaiian language was completely oral. It was not a written language before the settlers came, and that it only consists of 13 letters. So I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, 5 vowels and 8 consonants. Their words for seaside, mountain, and now I forgot. I have to go back on my notes, but I think it's mountain, land side, or island side, mountain. So you have 2 types of sides of mountains. That's how they talk about directions, not necessarily north, south, east, and west. Woo, that shook a lot. It was really interesting to me how one of their consonants, it's actually a backwards apostrophe. It's called the okina. It's basically an interruption or a pause before a vowel or in between vowels, which is why you hear a lot of people say Hawaii as Hawaii. And it's actually mispronounced as well because the okina is in between 2 I's, not the A and the I. So she told me how to pronounce it. I would have to practice it more, so I don't want to butcher it. As for the W pronounced as a V, I am not entirely sure if this is correct. She did grow up in Hawaii, and she was in the school system that taught Hawaiian language from kinder through 12th grade, and she did study Hawaiian language in college, so I'm really taking her word for it. I just thought it was kind of strange that there is no actual pronunciation rule for the W as a V. So you have words like, my goodness, this is shaking a lot. You have a lot of words like Hawaii pronounced as Hawaii. You have Halaiwa as Halaiva. Ewa Beach, which is in the south, is an Eva Beach. Another spouse and I deduced that you would pronounce W as a V when it's in the middle of the word, as opposed to the beginning of the word, because you do have places like where I live, which is Wahiwa or Wahiawa, or I can't, after this class I don't even know anymore, but it's written Wahiawa And a lot of people here pronounce it wahiwa. She was saying that it's pronounced wahiawa because of the marker on top of the vowels. So just wanted to point out that when it's at the beginning of the word, it's still a W. It made sense to me that it was pronounced as a V in the middle of the word, but she said that there is no rule. You just have to experience Hawaii and listen to the natives talk, and that's how you learn when it's a W and when it's a V. Another interesting fact about vowels in Hawaiian language was the fact that they have long and short vowels. So for example, if you have a marker on top of a vowel, instead of saying you would just say It's a little longer. And if you saw my notes, she gave the example of lolo, and I wouldn't really, I might butcher this, but lolo, which is just longer than lolo. One means smart and the other means stupid. It's not the same as long and short vowels in English, where you have a, e, I, o, and u, oo. It's just more the same vowel but longer. This is why I say I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to butcher it. Not bad for an introduction to language, culture, society, and history of Hawaii. It was fantastic for an hour and a half. I'm just now so curious. I wish I could take a whole class for a semester. There was a change of plans with my 4 o'clock. As is customary with the military life, my friend had to go to Honolulu. That's quite a ways away, as you already know, with my doctor's appointments. And she's caught in the horrible after work traffic jam. So she's gonna bring the kid over to my house at around maybe 5:30. Not a problem with me. I completely understand that kind of stuff. I cleared up some space and I cleared up the table to work with the kid. But I'm taking advantage of the extra time to do some other home business stuff. But I wanted to take a quick break to show you something. And this is a question my entire life. This was before I even met my husband 12 years ago. Is what do you eat? I felt so bad though, because I was at my friend's house the other day. Her dad is the one that was making dinner. He asked me, but with a really heartfelt sadness, you never eat any of the stuff I make. And I felt so bad. No, it's just I can't eat it. It's not that I don't want to eat it. Your cooking smells amazing. Every time I come to your home, I'm tortured with all the wonderful Puerto Rican scents that remind me of my grandmother's kitchen. But I know it's very difficult for a lot of people to wrap around their head the fact that I can't eat like a Puerto Rican being Puerto Rican. So I just tell them I can't eat anything that's with garlic or onion. I make my sofrito without that stuff. So really I just can't eat it. And then the other person I was sitting next to him asked, so what do you eat? So let me show you. Right now, I just made some white rice. I'm making some shrimp. And this is just with regular butter and a pinch of salt. That's it. And then on the side, I'm gonna have some you can't see it. Avocado. I'm gonna have some avocado on the side, and that's already a good meal for me. For lunch, I had some leftover spaghetti squash with turkey that I don't think I showed you how I prepared that. But my husband and I buy this really big hunk of turkey breast at Costco, and then we slice it in different cuts. This is the one I'm using now, kind of like fillets. We also cube it and whatnot. Then I have some, well, it's all the way down there, I don't want to get it. We have some more that's frozen, which then I'll thaw when I'm done with that much. And again, avocado, because I'm an avocado addict. But that's what I eat. I eat very clean, natural, unprocessed foods. I cook at home all the time, and then I have a twist on my Puerto Rican foods. So you've already seen my arroz con gandules, and if you haven't, I'm gonna link it above. My arroz con gandules basically just has tomato paste instead of tomato sauce, no garlic or onion. I don't use sazon on my rice, and I don't put the fancy pimentos or the whatever, pimiento morrones. It has weird names in English for it. So I just make it a little simpler. When I go to their house, it always smells the way it's supposed to, which is the way I can't eat it. But that's basically it. Just wanted to show you. It's not like I survive on air and water and fruits. I do eat pretty much what everybody eats, just I gotta modify it, make some adjustments for me. All right, you guys, don't think me crazy. I already had dinner. My food scraps are right there. Can you hear the microwave going? I'm making popcorn because I'm craving something not really sweet like candy, but I'm craving like a snack. Like if I could still eat pizza, I would go out and get a pizza. I'm craving something like that. And I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to just make the banana bread that I've been wanting to make for the past 3 days. Because the bananas got to the point where I had to put them in the fridge because they're starting to get to that point. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I'm gonna make banana bread at 8:40 at night. Don't think me crazy. This is just what happens when you're home alone. A friend of mine on Facebook shared that she put chocolate chips in her banana bread, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do instead of walnuts. A good way for me to share banana bread is to use smaller molds. Wait, see. I have these smaller molds. I don't think I'll have enough to make 2, but I know someone's gonna get banana bread. My husband taught me this trick. Thank you, Dawn, for the nice spatula. It is fantastic. Alrighty, while that bakes, I'll put everything away, clean up the kitchen, and leave everything tidy for tomorrow. Okay, no judgment. It is 10:42. I was on the phone for a good hour and a half with a family member. It was a good conversation though, which is why it lasted an hour and a half. The bread was actually done about an hour or so ago, but I wasn't too happy with it because for the first time, I've been making banana bread for years. I'm talking like I started baking in my early 20s. This is the first time ever I've had banana bread come out so pale. It's usually like this really nice brown, glossy color at the very top. But I asked my husband, because he's an even better baker than I am. I mean, he can really make stuff in the kitchen. And he said that it all depends on how ripe the bananas are, how much sugar is in the bananas, and whatever. So as long as it tastes good, the color doesn't matter. Never judge a book by its cover, right? So I'm just gonna give it a shot. Gonna give it a little bite and see what we're dealing with here. I've never had banana bread with chocolate chips before. You know who you are. This is gonna be my first bite of this. Here's the chocolate chip. It tastes like banana bread. Consistency is good. They were extremely overly ripe. So it is a little mushier than I'm used to, but I'm sure that that'll go away by like after tomorrow or something, because I don't know if you've made banana bread before, it does dry up a couple of days later. The chocolate gives it such a different balance of flavors than I'm used to, because I usually banana bread with honey over it, and the chocolate kind of has this slightly tart aftertaste that kind of balances out the sweetness of the banana. It's good. Wow. Thanks. You know who you are. Oh my gosh, I should not be eating banana bread with chocolate before bed, but this is so good. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to pig out before bed, so I'm just going to say my good nights right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the banana bread recipe. Let me know if you try it, if it works out for you, and if it looks this pasty. I'm not used to seeing it this white. If you haven't already, remember to hit the subscribe button below this video to not miss any of my content. My vlog is daily, so I will be posting every single day. Also remember to please give it a big thumbs up so it can help me trigger the YouTube algorithm and or just show me some love. Also share with your friends and family, anybody you know with chronic illness or in the autoimmune community and or experiencing the military spouse life. I will see you all tomorrow.